Today, we're tackling a topic that's been making headlines: the looming U.S. debt crisis. Are we on the edge of disaster, or is there hope for a brighter future? Let's find out. Segment 1. The warning signs. Ray Dalio, a billionaire investor, warns that the U.S. economy faces a looming threat of a $34 trillion debt crisis. This crisis is fueled by a significant increase in debt levels, which could have severe consequences. One key warning sign is the imbalance between the supply and demand for government debt. As the national debt grows, there is a risk that investors may become less willing to buy U.S. government bonds, leading to higher interest rates and economic instability. Additionally, geopolitical shifts are adding to the complexity of the situation, further exacerbating the potential risks. The current situation reflects a classic late-cycle debt crisis, where the accumulation of debt has reached unsustainable levels. The continuous growth of the U.S. national debt has set the stage for a potential crisis, as the country struggles to manage its financial obligations. Understanding how we reached this point involves recognizing the gradual buildup of debt over time, coupled with factors like government spending, economic policies, and global economic conditions. Addressing these warning signs and taking proactive measures to manage debt levels and promote economic stability will be crucial in navigating the challenges ahead. Segment 2. Understanding debt dynamics. The concept of supply and demand is a fundamental principle in economics that explains how the market functions. When it comes to the national debt, the relationship between supply and demand plays a crucial role in determining the cost of borrowing. As the national debt increases, the government's demand for funds rises, leading to a potential increase in borrowing costs. This is because the increased demand for funds can drive up interest rates, making it more expensive for the government to borrow money. The impact of this can be far-reaching and significant. If the government is required to allocate a larger portion of its budget towards servicing debt interest, it may have less money available for other important priorities such as infrastructure, education, and healthcare. This could have a negative impact on the overall economy, as well as on the quality of life for citizens. Additionally, if the cost of borrowing becomes too high, it could potentially lead to a situation where the government is unable to meet its debt obligations, which could have catastrophic consequences. It's also important to consider the potential impact on the private sector. As the government's demand for funds increases, it could potentially lead to a decrease in the availability of credit for businesses and individuals. This could make it more difficult for businesses to invest and grow, and for individuals to take out loans for things like home mortgages and car loans. This could lead to a slowdown in economic growth and potentially even a recession. In summary, the relationship between supply and demand is a crucial factor in determining the cost of borrowing for the government. As the national debt increases, the government's demand for funds rises, leading to a potential increase in borrowing costs. This could have significant consequences for the economy and for citizens, as it could lead to a decrease in funds available for important priorities and a potential slowdown in economic growth. It is important for the government to take steps to manage the national debt and ensure that it does not become unsustainable. Segment 3. Exploring solutions. In times of economic challenges like high debt burdens, history shows us that focusing on economic growth can help ease the pressure. By prioritizing strategies that boost the economy, such as investing in infrastructure, education, and innovation, countries can gradually reduce their debt burden over time. This approach involves creating an environment where businesses can thrive, leading to increased tax revenues and job opportunities, which in turn can help in managing and eventually reducing the debt. Bipartisan cooperation plays a crucial role in navigating such challenges. When political parties work together towards common goals, it becomes easier to implement policies that support economic growth. By setting aside differences and focusing on shared objectives, governments can create stability and confidence in the economy, which is essential for attracting investments and promoting sustainable development. This cooperation can lead to the implementation of long-term strategies that address the root causes of debt and pave the way for a more stable financial future. Policies that prioritize growth are key to steering away from a crisis. By focusing on measures that stimulate economic activity, such as reducing regulatory burdens, promoting trade, and supporting small businesses, governments can create a conducive environment for growth. These policies not only help in generating revenue, but also contribute to job creation and overall prosperity. By fostering an environment where businesses can thrive, countries can strengthen their economic foundations and gradually reduce the impact of debt on their finances. In conclusion, by learning from history and adopting a proactive approach towards economic growth, countries can effectively manage and reduce their debt burdens. Through bipartisan cooperation and the implementation of growth-oriented policies, governments can navigate challenges and steer away from potential crises. By focusing on sustainable strategies that promote prosperity and stability, nations can build a resilient economy that is better equipped to handle future challenges and ensure a brighter financial outlook for generations to come. Segment 4. Consequences of inaction. The issue of mounting debt is one that cannot be ignored, as it has the potential to cause significant economic and financial problems in the future. When a nation accumulates debt, it essentially borrows money to fund its current operations and expenses. While this may seem like a viable solution in the short term, it can lead to serious consequences if left unchecked. One of the most significant risks of failing to address mounting debt is the potential for economic downturns. When a country owes a significant amount of money, it can struggle to meet its financial obligations, leading to a decrease in economic activity. This can result in a decrease in employment, a decline in consumer spending, and a general slowdown in economic growth. In turn, this can lead to a vicious cycle of debt, as the country struggles to pay off its debt while also dealing with a weakened economy. Another risk of mounting debt is increased financial instability. When a country owes a significant amount of money, it becomes more vulnerable to financial shocks and crises. For example, if interest rates rise, the cost of servicing the debt can increase significantly, putting a strain on the country's finances. Additionally, if the value of the country's currency decreases, it can become more difficult to pay off the debt, as the debt is often denominated in a foreign currency. This can lead to a loss of investor confidence, further exacerbating the problem. To avoid these risks, it's imperative that we act now to address the issue of mounting debt. This can be done through a variety of means, such as implementing fiscal policies that prioritize debt reduction, increasing revenue through tax reform, and promoting economic growth through investment in infrastructure and education. By taking these steps, we can safeguard our financial future and prevent a full-blown crisis. In conclusion, the issue of mounting debt is a serious one that requires immediate attention. Failing to address this issue can lead to economic downturns, increased financial instability, and a vicious cycle of debt. However, by implementing sound fiscal policies, increasing revenue, and promoting economic growth, we can prevent these risks and ensure a bright financial future for our nation. It's crucial that we take action now to address this issue before it's too late. Segment 5. The path forward. As we look ahead to the future, it's important to stay informed about the economic landscape and the policies that shape it. This means keeping up to date with news and trends, and understanding how they may impact our financial well-being. By staying informed, we can make better decisions about our personal finances and advocate for policies that promote economic stability and growth. One of the key ways to promote economic stability is to support policies that foster responsible lending practices and protect consumers from predatory lending. This includes measures like limiting the amount of interest that can be charged on loans, requiring lenders to assess a borrower's ability to repay a loan, and providing resources. By advocating for these policies, we can help prevent the kinds of financial crises that have caused so much harm in the past. At the same time, we need to promote economic growth by supporting policies that create jobs and encourage innovation. This includes measures like investing in infrastructure, supporting small businesses, and promoting education and training programs that help workers develop the skills they need to compete in a global economy. By fostering economic growth, we can create a more stable financial future for ourselves and future generations. In short, by staying informed, advocating for responsible policies, and promoting economic growth, we can pave the way for a more stable financial future. It's up to each of us to do our part by staying engaged, speaking out, and taking action to build a better future for all. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to subscribe for more insightful content, and remember, together, we can overcome even the toughest challenges. Until next time, take care.